I promised you that I would bring you a full review of the entire new Christian Louboutin Fetiche fragrance collection, fragrance line. I got my hands on all 6 of them. Yes, I was able to order the La Rose. That was the missing piece in the puzzle. It just arrived a couple of days ago and I am ready to share my thoughts with you guys. You can tell by the smile on my face how I feel about Christian Louboutin fragrances. I have the entire Loubi World collection back there in my perfume display. I absolutely love the entire Loubi World collection. I have all 7 fragrances and then the 3 that came out, like the Intense versions. Absolutely love it. And I also have Loubi Mar. I need to get the Loubi Horse actually. But anyway, let's talk about the Fetiche fragrances. Starting with those gorgeous bottles. Let's jump right in. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous luxury fragrance review. I have got the goodies for you. So I have the Christian Louboutin entire 6 fragrances here to review for you. Oh my goodness, boy do I have so much to say about these fragrances. Okay, so here's La Rose. So there are 6 fragrances in this fragrance line. We have Fétiche La Rose, which is the rose dominant fragrance that everybody's excited to hear about. It is the rose fragrance in this collection. That's the most popular one from what I can see. And then we have Fétiche L'Iris, which is the iris dominant fragrance, the iris fragrance. Oh my gosh, I have so many things to say about all these fragrances. Then we have Fétiche L'Ébène, which is the ebony fragrance, essentially the woody one in the collection. Then we have Fétiche L'Essence, the incense dominant fragrance. Then we have Fétiche L'Ambre, which is the amber dominant fragrance, the amber fragrance in this collection. And then we have Fétiche Le Cuir, which is the leather dominant fragrance in this collection. And I gotta tell you something, if any fragrance house knows how to do leather, it is Christian Louboutin. All right, let's get right to the review part of this, okay? So I have a bit of story time. So I wanted to get right away, I knew after looking at the notes and just knowing what I usually gravitate toward, I knew I wanted the L'Iris and the La Rose first. So I bought L'Iris and it was coming and had no issues with it. And then actually, originally I thought there were only 5 fragrances in this collection because everywhere I looked, including the Christian Louboutin website, only 5 of them were displaying at one point. So it was everything except the La Rose. Apparently La Rose was kind of either leaked or released for a little while and it sold out and just sold out everywhere. Even in their mini discovery set here, the La Rose fragrance is not included. So it makes me wonder if they intended to even include the La Rose in the set. Is it like these 5 together and then La Rose as a special character or a special guest? I don't know. But for some reason, I could only see 5 fragrances and I thought, okay, so I got L'Iris and I knew I was gonna need Le Cuir because I know Christian Louboutin does leather so sexy. I mean, my Loubi Raj is a testament to it. Really, you know, amazing leather fragrance, super sexy. I've never seen leather done so sexy. I knew I wanted L'Iris and Le Cuir. Surprisingly, I had ordered a few of the Christian Louboutin's new lip glosses that are lip vinyls, and with those came Le Cuir, a really good deluxe size bottle of it. So I knew I already had Le Cuir, so I knew I just needed to get L'Iris. Then I noticed that there's supposed to be another fragrance in the collection, the La Rose. But it was sold out everywhere. Nowhere, not even on Christian Louboutin website was it displaying at that point. So I waited about a week. I wanted to do this review sooner, but I knew I needed to get my hands on La Rose before I did the review. So I waited. I did the fragrance haul with just the La Rose and Le Cuir. If you missed that fragrance haul, check it out. I have some really special fragrances in it, like the all natural skincare perfumes, the Christian Louboutin ones. Check that out if you missed it. Anyway, I told you in that video that I was trying to get my hands on La Rose. As soon as I got my hands on it, I would do this full review of the entire collection. So then I went to Christian Louboutin website, like right after that video, and I saw that this was finally showing up on the website with a button that said pre-order. So I, of course, jumped and pre-ordered the fragrance. And then about like a day or two went by, and I kept checking the Nordstrom website because some of you guys told me that the Nordstrom website had La Rose for a little while. When I pre-ordered the La Rose on Christian Louboutin website, it said the estimated delivery would be in like end of May or June. So I'm like, oh no, shoot, I don't want to wait that long to do my review. So I kept checking the Nordstrom website and it wasn't there. So I kept checking. About 3 days after my video went up, the fragrance haul, it was available for like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I just, before I could even blink, I clicked add to cart, checked out. Now I had one coming from Nordstrom. So I figured, okay, you know, if the Nordstrom one comes faster, which it would, then I would just keep the one I ordered from Christian Louboutin website as a backup, or I would maybe exchange it to another fragrance, most likely Le Bene, because that's the one my husband would love. I'll tell you why when I get to that part of the review. So then the Nordstrom sent me a notification saying your perfume was on the way, so that's on the way. And then I called Christian Louboutin customer service to see if I can stop the pre-order. When I called them, they said, oh my gosh, you know, it's actually getting packed to be shipped to you right now. I said, that's okay, because it was too late to cancel the order. So now I had two of them coming. Guess what? The Christian Louboutin website was faster. That one got here before the Nordstrom one. The Nordstrom one is still on the way. I think it's scheduled to arrive either Monday or something. It was scheduled to arrive last Friday. For whatever reason, it didn't come. So now it's probably coming on Monday. All right, so here is La Rose. You know, one thing I did notice, you guys. So I don't know if you guys bought any of the Christian Louboutin's Louis World collection fragrances behind me right over there. I don't know, can you see where I'm pointing? Anyway, they are hefty bottles. They're really super gorgeous, very substantial, like with like these like metal heads and everything. Really well packaged, and they came in these red lacquer box of some sort. Very substantial. But now I'm noticing, you know, like the world is going in a really crazy direction right now. So with maybe all the tariff scares and all that stuff, I'm not really sure why, or maybe just the fact that living cost is going up. I don't know. Everybody's kind of cutting corners. I feel like those Louis World fragrances, when they first came out, each of them was like $270 some, if I'm not mistaken, with all of that, with the hefty bottle, with the metal caps, huge ornate metal caps, and the lacquer boxes, the whole works, was that price. Now this is $245, almost expensive as that, but it comes now in a cardboard box. This collection, the Fétiche line, comes in this sort of box. So this is how it is packaged, and obviously you guys know already probably, I don't need to show you. These perfume bottles are made to look like the Christian Louboutin nail polishes. Okay, let me get it out. So it comes packaged separately like this, and of course this is how the cap goes on. So this is such a gorgeous, sexy bottle. Christian Louboutin knows how to make a woman look look and feel and smell sexy, okay? I have got to, this video is not sponsored. They don't know anything about me doing this video. This is just me being a huge fan, okay? This is such a gorgeous bottle, and 80 ml bottles, each of them is $245, cha-ching, but hold on, it's totally worth it. Now this is La Rose. I've got the stuff to tell you now. Oh my goodness. First of all, let me tell you, be very careful with this fragrance. Just spray it the tiniest little bit is all you need. Trust me, I'm about to tell you why I said that. Oh, okay. Wow. This, I'm trying to hold myself back. This is the sexiest darn rose fragrance ever. Every time Christian Louboutin does something, like even though the other fragrance houses use the same fragrance notes, like I mean, rose is a very popular fragrance note that are in most fragrances actually, especially women's fragrances. Now this fragrance's inspiration was the iconic Christian Louboutin stiletto, because those gorgeous red sole stilettos are like, you know, but very uncomfortable. Anyway, not if you get the right type of heel. This is gorgeous, and guess who the perfumer is? Quentin Biche. He is a master perfumer. Quentin Biche is the one who did this fragrance, and I know it is Quentin Biche because his signature is in this fragrance. Now this smells, let me please emphasize this before I get more into this review. This smells not like Delina, okay? I will get there. This has a hint of that Quentin Biche signature that you smell in Delina. But no, I would not say this smells like Delina. No. This has a very sophisticated, deeper, almost, I want to say almost a sexy herbally vibe. I almost want to swear there's a little bit of maybe hint of leather in here. There's some kind of underlying smokiness, but it's a very sweet, subtle smokiness. It is not smoky like incense in your face at all. This has a gorgeous liquor-like cherry, like a cherry liquor, like it smells like cherry liqueur, or it smells like what do you call those bourbon-filled cherries, like the bourbon cherries, or like cherry liqueur more than anything, I think. It's a very liquor-like cherry, a dark, sexy, almost like a black cherry that's in here, that adds this level of sweetness to this fragrance. So now that is a departure from Delina, which has lychee in that top note. So I'm pretty certain the liquored cherry is in the top. So instead of like, you know, that right there is a big difference from Delina. Obviously there's no lychee in here. I don't smell lychee. Trust me, if there was lychee, I mean, it's easy to smell lychee. This has that liquor-like cherry or cherry liqueur kind of opening. Then it gives away to this very full petaled rose. This velvet, red velvet petaled rose. It doesn't smell like a pink rose. It doesn't smell like, you know, rose de grace is usually, it's a pinky rose, Turkish rose, there's Bulgarian rose, all of that. I'm pretty sure some of that is in here, several types of rose. Another reason to think that is the fact that the perfumer is Quentin Biche and he put Turkish rose in Delina, and this has a little bit of that Delina signature without it smelling like Delina completely or anything like that. It's a very subtle hint, okay? So I wonder if that comes from that Turkish rose that we're so used to smelling in Delina. It's a very subtle hint, and it kind of like is only present in the opening and it just goes away. That Delina DNA, it goes away, and it gives into this very full petaled red dark rose that is like, you know, like, have you seen those roses that are so red that it's almost black, you know, like with the velvet petals. That's what the rose here that I'm imagining in my head. This also has a little bit of zest and a zing from that pink pepper, which gives you like that, you know, kind of bubbly feeling in opening, especially of fragrances. And then there's a bit of ginger with that zing, a little zing, but the ginger zing, I don't know how to describe it. It's trying to capture the glossy intensity of the black vinyl stiletto, okay? Kind of is what they're trying to capture here, that super uber sexy woman, okay? In the Christian Louboutin heels. That's what they're trying to capture here. Oh, it's very, and then they're saying the rose is tribute to that signature red soul. You know, it's absolutely gorgeous. The only notes that Christian Louboutin ever gives away is either 1, 2, or 3 notes, 3 maximum. They never give out any more than that. So the composition says there's cherry and there's rose. And obviously, since there's a bit of booziness, that cherry liqueur vibes, I want to say there's cherry liqueur here. Or there's like, I don't know, brandy or something in here, or some kind of liquor. I want to bet it's actually cherry liqueur. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. And then, like I said, there's a bit of smokiness on the dry down especially. There may be a very tad bit of incense. There may be a little bit of herbal like davana or cypriot oil, which really make perfume super sexy. So there's some of that maybe, although it's not revealed. So I'm trying to guess what the other notes are, and there's definitely a little bit of a subtle woody note on the base. It's definitely not oud. I don't smell oud. If there's oud here, it's very deceivingly quiet. But it's some other kind of inoffensive woody note that doesn't try to stand up and take the stage, you know. It's very, very much subtle in the background. Oh my gosh, this leaves the biggest sillage. Oh goodness, let me get to the performance now. Guys, I wore this twice so far because it just arrived. I wore it out to dinner Friday night. My gosh, I sprayed on, trust me, I'm always preaching to you guys. Don't overspray your fragrance, right? So I never overspray. I sprayed 1, 2, 3, 4. Trust me, that's all I sprayed. 4 sprayed, teeny bitty sprays. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I sprayed, because I already knew that when I smelled it that it was going to be pretty potent. Boy, that was projecting. The entire room was filled with this scent. So I'm telling you right now, do not overspray this. 1, 2, done. No 4. 1, 2, done. Okay? Do not try to go. You will kill people. You will give them such headaches. People will be turned off instead of the other way around. This is supposed to be super sexy fragrance. You will be doing yourself a disservice if you overspray this fragrance. Nothing should be sprayed like that all over your body, okay? That's just not how you should spray perfumes. We're not here to announce our entrance, rather grace with our entrance, okay? So anyway, that's how you get compliments. If you ever wonder why you don't get compliments, that's one of the reasons. Because people get so annoyed, they don't find you smell good, okay? So anyway, this was so strong. So I sprayed 1, 2, 3, 4. I got in the car to go to dinner with my family. And my God, my husband wasn't in the car yet. It was my 2 kids and me, and I was waiting for my husband to get in the car. My daughter was like, oh my gosh, Mom, that perfume is so strong. It smells divine, but boy, oh boy, it is strong, she told me. So we had to literally open the car doors, all 4 doors of the car, air out the SUV, completely air it out. And then even after that, we left it out like 10 minutes like that, closed the door, still it was going strong. And my husband got in after that. It wasn't as strong anymore, but it was still strong. He was like, I smell your perfume tonight and it's super sexy, and I can tell that it's really strong. So I had to wait like 2 hours for it to stop projecting like crazy, and it was still projecting. However, what I'm trying to say is, if you're wearing this fragrance, like let's say you're getting ready to go out, spray it about 30 minutes before you actually step out of the house, because even if you didn't overspray, this has this chance of really projecting to the other end of the world, and it lasts forever. I mean, it was on my skin and still projecting. When I went to shower that night, like, I mean, I didn't wear it all day. I sprayed it around actually before we went to dinner. We went to dinner early, like around 4:30. And then when I showered, it was really late, about 7 hours. And it was just going and going and going. I could tell that if I hadn't showered, it would have been on my skin till the next morning and maybe the rest of the next day, which I always shower twice a day. My craziness is showering twice a day. Yeah, it is super long lasting, super projecting, absolutely worth every penny. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I don't want to stay here too long yammering about La Rose when I have other ones to review. So then we have L'iris here. This is, as much as I love La Rose, I feel like I love L'iris slightly even more. I never thought that I would even say that I might like this a hair more than La Rose, because actually it's not true. I still am so loyal to, very drawn to rose fragrances, especially one that is so sexy like this. Very much drawn to it, but this is right there, neck and neck, okay? The L'iris. The other type of fragrance note that I love a lot, or notes, I guess I love rose fragrances. You guys know that's my favorite. And then there are the blue purple florals. They are powdery. The iris or violet fragrances or lilac, you know, that sort of things, especially iris. It's like my thing. So let me spray this one on this hand. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's this very sexy, powdery, like woman-like, you know, anytime I smell iris, it smells like a, from the 1920s, like a cabaret dancer or burlesque dancer, you know, like that sort of vibe. Oh, this is so gorgeous. This has that like super sexy vibes. Again, I'm imagining a woman dancing in like heels, something like either burlesque or cabaret or something like that, but very like classy, okay? Sexy, dripping sexy, but classy. This perfume pays homage to one of the most fabulous, splendid fragrance notes in the world, iris. It's why it's L'iris, okay? The perfume of this fragrance is Caroline Demure. She is a master perfumer as well. And in the perfume world, iris is known as blue gold because it's that valuable, that gorgeous, that expensive smelling. So iris has that beautiful, delicate powderiness that represents a woman's femininity, in my opinion. That's why I'm really drawn to iris fragrances. I like to wear perfumes that smell super womanly, very sexy. That's like my signature when it comes to fragrances. L'iris has this fiery kind of hot allure about it. So the only notes that are revealed in this fragrance are orris, which is the root of iris, and the little hint of patchouli. But guys, don't be taken aback when I say patchouli here. Patchouli usually has a little bit more of a intense earthiness, or you know how people who don't like patchouli describe it as like smells like dirt. No. That is not anything like that. This doesn't smell anything like that at all. There's nothing dirty about this fragrance, believe me. This is very crisp, very clean. The slight, very subtle hint of patchouli here adds more of a, almost like a woody earthiness to it. So that earthiness mixed with that powdery iris is super fabulous in here. I want to see, there is something else that's intense about this fragrance. There's this like sort of across the board, this entire line. There's an across the board theme here. There's a bit of smokiness in all of these slightly. I'm smelling this and smell something slightly green too. Maybe the iris, even though it's powdery, because it's the root of iris, there may be a little bit of that hint of that. I'm trying to smell. This one is pretty purely powdery florals. I don't smell any, you know, girly floral notes at all. I don't smell any white florals, nothing like jasmine, no yellow florals like ylang ylang, none of that. This is very much a through and through burlesque dancer, you know, cabaret dancer type, straight up powdery, put red lipstick on in front of a well-lit mirror behind backstage kind of vibes. This fragrance there, again, that sexiness that very nicely done powdery blue purple florals give. Now the performance is very similar to La Rose. I will say La Rose is probably the top performer in this line. They all perform amazing, but this one is also very good with projection and sillage, last a long time. I would say pretty similar, although this is not as like I am here kind of like projection the way La Rose is, but this is still very strong, very potent, very projecting, last a very long time. There again, was on my skin over 8 hours, would have been on my skin if I hadn't showered. That type of fragrance, absolutely chef's kiss, makes me feel like a lady, makes me feel like the sexiest, you know, like star of the show. That's kind of how I feel when I wear Christian Louboutin fragrances, really. All right, so then we come to Le Cuir. This one is obviously the leather fragrance. Cuir is leather. So this is the tiny travel size that I got with my lipstick purchase. So this was like a promotion for a limited time, I think. So I don't feel the need to buy a full bottle of Le Cuir yet. But when I do run out of this, I do plan to get a full bottle of Cuir, because guess what? No one does leather the way Christian Louboutin does leather. Let me tell you something. Leather is just almost super fabulous, sexy. I don't even know how they do leather so well, Christian Louboutin. Their signature leather is better than any leather I've smelled in any fragrance. Now let me smell. Oh, this is so well done. The perfumer is Juliette Caragioglou. She is also a master perfumer. She really wanted to explore, she says, that deep, sort of sensual, deep, rich facets of osmanthus. The full bottle, the juice color is literally like red. It's so gorgeous. Can't really see it here because it's the smaller version. It's more like a dark pink. So the inspiration and the tribute this fragrance pays is to the leather that the Christian Louboutin, the Fetiche, a tribute to that fetish signature of the Christian Louboutin heels, like the leather that Christian Louboutin makes bags with and shoes with and so on. So leather itself really is the inspiration for this fragrance. And the perfume notes that are revealed are leather and osmanthus. But you guys, when I spray this, that sumptuous, luxurious leather is right there. That super sexy leather that Christian Louboutin, only Christian Louboutin knows how to do that level of sexiness. Leather doesn't smell like leather in Christian Louboutin fragrances, not like new car seat at all. It is a very like, just sexiness is all they extracted from the leather. It's almost like that. And osmanthus is a floral that is like voluptuous, that has like this honey facets to it. There's a bit of like, it's a honeyed flower that smells like honeyed apricots a little bit. Yes, you can smell that osmanthus, but I smell tuberose. So there's always, when there's osmanthus, it's usually paired with tuberose. It's like a match made in heaven. And a lot of fragrances that have osmanthus tends to have tuberose. Now this gives me a little bit of a throwback to my Maison Crivelli's Tuberose Astra, which is also tuberose, and maybe there's a little osmanthus there too. Yes, tuberose osmanthus duo with that leather with some herbal note, and that's very much like this, but with the Christian Louboutin signature. That signature leather that Christian Louboutin does. It smells good in there too, but this one is very signature Christian Louboutin leather. So you smell that tuberose with that natural tuberose, no bubblegummy tuberose. This is like that natural tuberose with natural osmanthus, and then you smell that very sumptuous leather, very luxurious, and there's some sort of herbal note like davana or cypriol oil or something like that, I feel like, because there's that sultriness that comes from that sort of herbal note in here. It's a leather accord, but it's actually a suede note, so it's osmanthus and suede. I've noticed that when the note is suede, not leather, they're leather. Suede is leather. But you know what I mean? There is a slight difference. Both give a leather accord, but the suede note is a little bit even more, I don't know, gorgeous. I feel like it goes well with osmanthus and tuberose type of fragrance notes, floral notes, I mean. And this really, right now, that osmanthus and tuberose are shining together really. On the dry down especially, you smell the two floral notes super strongly with that underlying luxurious, just scrumptious leather beautifulness underneath, okay? So, oh my gosh, if you love a tuberose osmanthus scents with leather, this actually on the dry down smells quite similar to my Maison Crivelli Tuberose Astra. If you have that fragrance and you love it, you will love Le Cuir, okay? Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Again, with the projection sillage, same as the two before. This is actually pretty strong, kind of like La Rose. Probably La Rose and Le Cuir are stronger slightly more than L'Iris in my opinion, because L'Iris naturally by nature the powdery notes are a little bit more softer, you know, but still very potent. Absolutely stunning. Le Cuir will last you all day, all night till the next day, and that whole next day too, if you didn't shower. And even after showering, all these fragrances, you can still smell them on your skin. That's how potent they are, and they really project. So remember, dab, dab, that's it. Spray, spray, done. Do not overdo these fragrances. And now we move on to this beautiful discovery kit that has the 3 fragrances that I don't own the full bottles of yet, okay? So we did these 3. Now I want to test L'Ombre. So Ombre, this one is the amber dominant fragrance. Okay, so let's go ahead and spray this on this arm. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm not even an amber fan, that crazy, oh, so good. I'm not even that crazy about amber fragrances, and I'm in love. This one is a bit of a, it's a light, it's not your thick, dark, dense amber that you can cut, like, you know, amber myrrh combo that you get a lot of the times, like too deep, too, you know, too heavy ambers. No, 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 this is a very almost, it's a weird word to use with amber, almost fresh amber. This has a bit of a green undertone, this amber. Amber is usually almost like vanillic, you know, like amber has a little bit of vanilla in it with other resin, like, you know, parts to it. Oh my gosh. But there's like some kind of green hint in it. The perfumer Delphine Lebeau says that the intention was to make this have an unexpected clash between that freshness, green freshness with amber. Okay, and this has a beautiful heady like bunch of floral notes. I would say, well, the one that is forward is tuberose. So the 2 notes that are revealed in this fragrance are tuberose and amber, obviously, but there is a green undertone to this. You know, like the greenness you get in, almost kind of like a rooty greenness you get in Spiritueuse de Blevini. That's kind of, you know, how that rooty greenness of Angelica, you know, in Spiritueuse de Blevini, how that interacts with that beautiful deep vanilla in it. So amber is kind of like vanilla, smells a little bit like vanilla, a more sultry version almost. So it's kind of like similar, you know, that's what's going on here. So there's this unexpected like floral, like tuberose with like when you smell the tuberose, you can smell the leaves too a little bit kind of, you know. And then you have that beautiful deep like amber that is not too heavy, not too dense because of that greenness. Kind of like Spiritueuse de Blevini, how the Angelica greenness comes through with that deep vanilla. Kind of similar to that. So absolutely stunning. I wouldn't say smoky per se, but there's slightly almost sweet, not smoky, something like it underneath. This is definitely a very hypnotic dark amber that is mixed with that heady tuberose, you know. You know, the tuberose is considered a very carnal flower, and it's very sexy in this, you know. It's like that burning amber with that carnal tuberose. It's really, really addictive. Maker of the perfume, of course, says it's almost like aphrodisiac, okay? It's a very sensual, sensual, sensual amber fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. I am going to get full bottles of all 6 fragrances eventually. I'm telling you, you know I'll do it too. Do you see my entire collection of the Louis World back there? That's what's gonna end up happening, okay? Then we have Lançon, because this is the incense fragrance, Fétiche Lançon. Very beautiful, it's kind of sweetly, smoothly smoky incense. Oh, my. I can smell that woody. This is a little bit spicy, but very subtle, smooth spices, okay? So the incense, the sweet and very smooth smokiness. That's what I love about Christian Louboutin fragrances, you guys. They're never overwhelming. It's like the incense in here isn't that smoky, dark, thick cloud of incense. It's not like that. It's like very like almost sweet and smooth incense, okay? Beautifully smooth. And there's a contrast with that, like with the spices, the variety of spices that are in here. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a very oriental smelling fragrance, but with that Christian Louboutin signature. And you know, there's like fiery and cool spices. There's like the, you know, the very soft spices and the warm spices mixed here. But they're very beautifully like in a nice dance together. None of them is overwhelming. So there's almost a freshness in these spices. There's a little bit of like pepper in here that is, oh my gosh, I don't know how to describe that smell in here. There's a pepper note and is kind of dancing with like warm woody notes here. There's a nice woody note in here. I wanted to originally say that it might be like a little bit of a clean oud, but no, it's like I can't quite, there's a really good smelling woody note in here, you guys, that I'm loving. I wonder what that woody note is. So like I said, there's the black pepper with a little kick, that with the dancing with the other warm spices and the warm woods in here. That this is not sandalwood, not oud, not Guaiac wood, because that's a very crazy one. Gosh, is it cedar, but in a very nicely done way? I can't really quite tell. So it's basically slightly smoky and woody, and really weirdly, I usually find incensey woody type of fragrances to be more masculine leaning. Not this one, you guys. This is super smack dab in the middle unisex, okay? But I would wear it. I would get a full bottle of this. I mean, me, somebody who doesn't get usually like woody and incense kind of fragrances. I would. There's a very sweet smokiness that's in here that's absolutely to die for. So the revealed notes are the black pepper note and the incense, but there's a lot more going on here. There may be floral notes, but they're very, 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 very much in the background. What you smell is that very gorgeous woody note with a slight bit of sweet and very smooth incense and with that warm and soft spices with the kick of black pepper. Absolutely stunning. Yes, I would get a full bottle of this. I would. I will get full bottles of all of this. Like I just said, I'm gonna be adding them one at a time. Now this is Le Bain. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautifully gorgeous, sexy fragrance. I tell you what, this is gonna be my husband's top favorite. This and La Rose probably, but this has something that he loves. This has a bit of like that oceanic, almost marine vibes that you get from ambergris. Yes, he loves the ambergris note, but not just ambergris, he also loves salty notes. Those things are two separate things. Yes, ambergris smells, it comes from the stomach of the sperm whale, even if it, there's the synthetic version too, but it also, it has that oceanic vibe, so you think salt, but there's actual salt note too. So there are two different things, right? But they both add up to that feeling and smell of sea and ocean. And why my husband loved that so much is because it kind of mimics that sexy sun-kissed skin smell. Like it's that if you sweat and your sweat smelled amazing, that's what it smells like. The sexy skin vibes, like I like to call it. This is what this has. So this obviously has ebony for a woody note, but this has ambergris in the base. But the woody note in here is cedarwood, I believe. The perfumer of Jean Christophe, he says that he wanted to really explore the depths of cedarwood. So there's a very refreshing quality about this fragrance, you guys. Yeah, with the ambergris, kind of puts you to like by the sea, kind of like, holiday vacation vibes too, but also there's coconut in here. There's like a coconut water note that really lightens it up even more. So the two notes that are revealed in this fragrance are coconut water and ebony. But I'm here to tell you guys, like the coconut water and ebony, yes, there's like that cedar wood and maybe there's ebony too. That woodiness that this has, the gorgeous woodiness, but there is ambergris, which also has a woody facet, but also marine facet. Absolutely beautiful. I could almost swear there's ambergris in here. And then there's that coconut water that adds even more to that ocean by the seaside kind of vibe of this. It's very sexy fragrance that you could wear in spring and summer. You could make it a beach fragrance, or you could wear it anywhere really. And yes, this is probably the softest out of all 6 of them. But in terms of projection and sillage, it doesn't mean that it's weak. It still actually has a really nice sillage and lasts a good long time. I would say like until you shower and even after. But because the notes are a little bit more softer, you don't perceive it as being very strong, but you will be smelling it throughout the day. Okay, I absolutely adore this, and this is going to be, I know, my husband's favorite. When I get the full bottle and start wearing it, I will find out even more. Obviously, I will be hauling those full bottles as time goes on. Keep watching my videos, and I'll be updating you about what my husband said, the compliments, so on and so forth. All right, you guys, those are the 6 fragrances in the Fetiche line, Le Fetiche line of Christian Louboutin. All 6 of them are absolute stunners. I'm getting all 6 of them, and I'm going to display them proudly in my perfume display behind there. Actually, in our new house, I'm going to have a separate display near my vanity for the Christian Louboutin Loubi World collection and for this Fetiche collection, because they are just absolutely stunning to display. Love, 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 love it. You would decide what sounds good to you from my description that I just gave you. And if you really want to get your nose on it, purchase this discovery kit. And it was like, I forget the price of it, something, I don't know, I'll put it right here. That doesn't include La Rose, by the way. You're gonna have to get a separate sample for it, even if they have samples. But anyway, test them if you want to, but I gave you a pretty good picture. You should be able to blind by hearing my descriptions, so you will know which fragrance sounds good to you guys. Okay, let me know down in the comment section, did you get your hands on any of these fragrances? What are your thoughts? What's your experience, projection, performance, compliments? Let me know down in the comment section. I would really like to know what you think. Also, what do you think about my descriptions of these fragrances? Let me know down in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps me out grow this channel. I really need your help to grow it faster. And of course, follow me on social media on IG and the other one. And don't forget to hop on over to my luxury beauty channel, Cleo Life, where I just uploaded the new Chanel Beige Summer Golden Hour collection, makeup collection. Check it out over there. I hope you go over there and support me there and watch my videos there as well. I will see you guys in my next video.